the answers, but she found the key. Empowering ladies, setting us free. Battle in the storm with courage and grace. Shayna's got the wisdom to help you embrace. No more relying on pills they don't know. She's got the strength to help you grow. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Medicine shelves are emptying out. Finding real strength, that's what it's about. No more prescriptions tying you down. With Shayna's help, you'll wear the crown. Ladies, hear the call, it's time to rise. Shayna lifts the veil, opening eyes. No more shadows breaking your day. With her wisdom, fight pain away. Finding the strength deep inside. Shayna Melissa takes us on this ride, from suffering to a life so free. Her healing touch, she'll set you free with a heart.
Hey, hey, hey! Question for you. Why don't we treat ourselves as well as we treat our kids, our spouse, our parents, or even our bestie? Why? Self care starts with ourselves, and if we think we're worthy and deserving and have time, make time in our busy lifestyles. Um, are you ready to put yourself first? You are worthy. You are deserving to treat yourself as good, if not better, than your bestie. I am Shayna Melissa Stockman, an autoimmune warrior, a nationally board certified nurse practitioner, and registered nurse for well over 33 years, who empowers mostly the ladies to get and feel better while reducing their signs, symptoms, autoimmune flare ups, and reliance on meds. Now, especially the ladies out there, you ever need some work in your house, right? Maybe kitchen or bath or plumbing? Do you just go to Google and try to figure it out? And a few years from now, here's something. And a few years from now, you're still like, let me try it this way, let me try it that way. Probably not, right? You go hire the expert, the plumber, the electrician who has done this thousands of times, knows how to do it, worked out all the kinks. And why? So, guys, drop down below. Would you rather Google it and 5 hours, 5 years later, still be in the same spot? Or do you hire the expert with the tools and the knowledge who has been through this thousands of times? And you know what? I'd rather hire the expert because it's going to save me time, save me money, and ulcers, and expedite my journey. I want to be that expert for you with your own home, your body, and give you the tools to empower you. Now, here are some of the early warning signs. We have warning signs in our body that something's not going right, and we should address it. Like you have the warning signs in your car that tell you early before you even realize the problem exists. These are warning signs in our body that our body is telling us before it's a much bigger problem. And they are warning signs not to be ignored. You don't ignore them in your car, right? Why would you ignore them in your body when you can't get replacement parts so easy? Now, it could be weird rashes. You could be exhausted even though you just woke up. You had your fifth cup of coffee. Your hair might be thinning. You're just as active and trying to eat right, but yet you can't lose weight or even gaining weight. Maybe you have IBS or pain out of proportion to the activities that you did. These are warning signs in your body that something is wrong. These are early signs not to be ignored, because if you interact early before it's a much bigger problem, perhaps you can ward off a hospitalization or an unneeded surgery. Now, we have something special for you. I want to be the expert and give you the tools to save you time, save you money. But here's a very short window of time. So we want you to join our upcoming Power Hour. You know what? There's hundreds of hours in a month and 24 in a day. You are worthy. You are deserving to treat yourself as good as you treat the world, if not better. So we want you to take this 1 hour where I can be the expert and empower you with the tools you need so that you can start feeling better, more energetic, less pain, less reliance on the prescription pills. So you can either scan that QR code or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. Instead of a 5 day or 3 hour workshop, we made it 1 power hour. You are worthy. You are deserving to take at least 1 hour to treat yourself as good, if not better, than your bestie. So you must reserve your seat in advance. There is no cost. Doesn't matter if you're not in New York where I am, you can do this online from the comfort of your couch. Don't miss it because it is live and there is no cost to it. Just go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. Claim your no cost or VIP seats. The VIP seats is a much deeper dive, live power Q&A sessions, hot seat, and a mini console. Now the VIP seats, enter coupon code SAVE50 and it's only $47. So take no cost or VIP. All right, moving right along. We got a lot to do today, a lot to discuss. Good news. I love sharing with you some good news because there's so much bad in this world. Now, here's some of the good news just from yesterday. I graduated Your Wellness Journey, the students of mine in Your Wellness Journey 3.0 and beyond. Woo! High five to you. Here was our graduation celebration. Woo! Kudos to all of you that graduated Your Wellness Journey 3.0 and beyond yesterday. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. I want you to know graduating is scary because you're like, oh my God, what do I do next? I don't know. I've never been here before. Here's some pictures of my prior graduations that, I was just as scared. There I am as a brand new nurse. That was my graduation in 1992 with my grandmother. I loved to death. And, moving forward was scary. And I'm like, oh my God, do I learn enough? But you know what? Even though you didn't learn it all yet, you learned so much more than you had prior. And that is one of my 5 college graduations in the 1990s on the right, SUNY Stony Brook. I graduated there 3 times with a bachelor's of nursing, master's as an adult health nurse practitioner, and a postmaster's as a pediatric nurse practitioner, all in the 90s. So I want to show you that graduation is scary, but there's something moving forward that, you know what, these are stepping stones for us. And moving right along, here I am as a little baby. Look at that, how far we've come. So, day to day, we don't realize how far we come until we look back 5 years and we see. Then there I am. That's not a good caricature. In the middle there, my nose is a little too big for me there. And then there I am breaking through in 2026. And moving right along, we have some more photos. Here, this one of me in the pink, one of my followers created this for me from a picture of mine. I thought that was pretty cool. And then on the right, we have my brand new caricature that when you look close, it has a lot of my accolades in there. Our Reclaim Your Life Power Hour, Your Wellness Journey 90-day program, the book Overcoming Life Obstacles, the fact that I'm the autoimmune expert, and that I do naturopathy, that I work on the genes. So if you look close at that picture, it gives you a better idea that I help a lot of doctors, educate doctors, and my fellow nurse practitioners and nurses as well. And then check out this next slide that, then I started doing the smaller talks, right? This is the live in-person talk. And I don't want to get into it today, but that, I'm qualified because I'm not just a coach. I'm a licensed healthcare professional for over 30 years with 4 nursing healthcare degrees, licenses, 5 college degrees, and my autoimmune experiences personally that I've overcame. And then I moved on to bigger talks. Here's one I did just a couple weeks ago in New York. The auditorium held 200 people. Yeah, that prior picture was me training nurses, case management workers, NPs, social workers, doctors. This picture there was doctors there, nurse practitioners there. It was in New York. That auditorium held like 200. I think that banner was 6 foot, and the projection screen behind it was probably about 15 high and I don't know, 20 something wide. Now, moving right along, Then here's some of the graduates that just graduated Your Wellness Journey 3.0 and beyond. This is Susie in Canada. So if you guys are like, oh, I'm not in New York, but I want to come to your events. I do a lot of virtual events. This 90-day program was done virtually from the comfort of your couch. So there is Susie in Canada while I was in the USA. So it's in multiple countries, joined multiple states. Moving right along, here's some of the other participants in our program. That is shout out to Lacey in Texas. She's a fellow nurse practitioner. So, guys, there are nurse practitioners, nurses, doctors, and non medical professionals in the program. That was Izzy in the last slide. There she is on this slide here. We have Pammy in Oklahoma holding up a copy of my book, Tracy in New Mexico, Izzy in New York, Susie in Canada. Um, Moving right along, and then we have here. This was fellow member Sherry did one of my live talks about a week or two ago. The auditorium held 200 people. It was a live talk that I did all about autoimmune disorders, the real truth about medicine. Did some book signings and photo ops next. Yes, check out we did some photo ops. Moving right along. Here's this past week. I saw my book in public and private libraries. We're going to go through a lot of slides really quick. All right, moving right along. Then this next image is one of my fellow autoimmune warriors. Her mom's a nurse, sent her to me. She helped inspire some of the people in Your Wellness Journey 90-day program to possibly join it. Because look at after completing our journey together, she had a lot of autoimmune issues, and now her hair is coming in thicker. She's dropping weight. She's smiling and laughing, and that is priceless. And I believe images from my prior members helped inspire the new members to see it is possible. I can have it. I am worthy. Then in the next one, yes, we have a member of Your Wellness Journey 3.0 and beyond, Tracy. She was live on the Shayna Show sharing her story of how she overcame breast cancer from surviving to thriving. Then we gave out certificates of completion. Next, we gave out certificates of appreciation to fellow members like Sherry NP, who's one of our longest members. Here we have Lacey in Texas. She gave me this 5-star Google review just a couple of days ago that she completed our Your Wellness Journey 90-day program. She's doing so much better. That she said I'm incredibly knowledgeable, passionate, that my functional medicine program taught her so much. She was already a nurse practitioner about health, and I explained everything in ways she could understand. She felt like she was achieving a lot, and she liked my recommendations. It gave her confidence on her care of her body. She was grateful in our guidance. She highly recommends me that I take a proactive, more informed approach. And kudos to you, Lacey, because now she's converting the multiple clinics she has in multiple states into strictly root cause functional medicine. And I hope I was your inspiration to do that and leave the sick care system to keep them sick for root cause medicine. Woo! We are both choosing to no longer take insurance. And for myself, I don't even use it at this point. I choose to go outside of insurance because it actually saves me and gives me more choices. And I'll get into that in a minute. Now, in our 90-day program, we had to start off with mindset to retrain our brain that you are worthy, you are deserving to treat yourself as good, if not better than you treat your kids, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your parents, and your bestie. We had to learn that it is possible. Look, Shayna had all these autoimmune signs, symptoms, and she was trying all the meds, and now she feels so much better. And now I'm back to my ideal weight, sugars, blood pressure, my hair is coming in thicker, I'm no longer in heart failure. I have great energy, pain-free, and I take no medications, which means I have no chance of dependency, side effects, interactions, and deaths. So in our 90-day program and in the workshop coming up, we start off with mindset, that it is possible, that you can do it. We have to retrain our brain and focus in not on what we don't want, but what we do want. Okay, now we also had to learn that although Next, yeah, although autoimmune disorders is a leading cause of death in young to middle-aged women, so are the prescription drugs used to treat them. My grandpa was a pharmacist and died of a lethal prescription drug interaction. I'm not opposed to drugs and I can write and prescribe them when I need. But here we tend to write them too much too often. And then when patients get side effects, we just give them another med for the side effect of the other med. I work differently than that. And look picture, you can see that here's one of my clients. Here's a talk I just did like a week ago. That once I was, when she completed, was in our 90-day program, doing so much better by attacking the true root causes, I was able to safely taper off 4 of her prescription pills a day. So that was over 1,000 less prescription pills a year. Those are less chances of dependencies, overdose, carcinogens that she's swallowing, dyes, fillers, and whatnot, and that's saving her a fortune. Another client, I tapered off 9 less prescriptions a month, which is 120 less prescription copays a year. And I took that 120 copays a year for her prescriptions, timed an average of $30 a copay. She was saving over $3,600 a year just on the prescription copays. So please, guys, don't ask, can I afford to get healthy? Ask yourself, can you afford to stay sick? It costs you more to stay sick than it does to get and stay healthy. So please retrain your brain. All right. Now, we also learned in the 90-day program and in the workshop, and I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to join our workshop next Wednesday. We learned about there's certain things in the environment and foods that can help you feel worse. And these might be some of them. And I help you identify your unique triggers. So if you like milk and milk is not a trigger, go eat your ice cream. Now, we know if certain foods help us feel worse, there's other foods that can help us feel better, right? These are all things that your doctors don't, won't, or can't tell you about, or they don't know about themselves. So we learned there's certain foods you want to stay away from. There's other foods we want you to eat more of. So I'm not just telling you don't eat all of this. I'm saying, hey, you know what? Eat more of these. These are natural anti-inflammatories. I use powers of the plant. Food as medicine. Food is medicine. In a section of the 90-day program, we call food pharmacy, how to use food for their medicinal purposes like we used to do years ago. And I also help them throughout the workshop and the 90-day program to identify and attack the true underlying root causes. Now, some of them might be in the environment, might be foods and things they're drinking, but there are also things that they're deficit in that they need to replenish. There's also free radicals, oxidative stress, cellular inflammation, mitochondria in our cells that are malfunctioning, getting destroyed, and toxins are building up. But more importantly, we went over not just how to identify the root causes, but what we can do to stop the progression of the disorder and even reverse it, to minimize or even resolve the symptoms. And then when the symptoms are resolved, there's less of a need for dependency on the medications. And then when there's less meds, there's less side effects, interactions, overdoses, and deaths. Now, moving right along, I want to thank each and every one of you that are on here. Please like, comment, heart, subscribe, follow, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. But now, I want to move right along to my story and the nurses. The nurses are still on strike. And I said a couple weeks ago, nurses in Cali, Hawaii, and Florida were going to strike next. Guess what, my fellow New York nurses, I love you. I am a member of NISDA, Nurse Practitioners Long Island, New York State National. They are not fighting for greed. They are fighting for their own health insurance benefits. They are fighting for safer patient staff ratios, meaning more staff to less patients. They are fighting for more security so that there's less violence amongst the patients to the nurses. Now, I don't spend too much time on this, but if you have a true dire emergency, you go to the nearest ER. If not, please stay away from Mount Sinai, New York Pres, Montefiore, because they are on strike. Now, my story is, you know what, my New York nurses, I love you, and I want you to come to our workshop. I know I can help you. The nurses are given some of the worst health insurance. Imagine that. You work. I worked for a health insurance carrier. I had to pay a ton of money. And excuse me, but I had crap health insurance. Now, these nurses are fighting for this. I want you to know I was offered 400 times their hourly wages to walk past that picket line and take their place. And I could not do it. So, your New York nurses, I want you to know how much I love you. I could not take that amount of money to go against you and go against safer patient staff ratios go against you getting your health insurance. Now, working for health and carriers, sometimes we have the worst health insurance. We pay the most amount of money. You are worthy. You are deserving to get the benefits you deserve. But a leopard never changes its spots. Now, just to give you an example, during the pandemic, I was in full-blown heart failure, running an ER as the highest practitioner without a doctor, another NP, or even a PA, with a skeleton crew. And at the end, they knew I was in heart failure. And you know what? I didn't treat myself as good as I should have. I didn't. And I was always telling my patients, the caregivers of the patients, please put on your own oxygen mask first. And I was giving that advice, and I'm sure a lot of you healthcare pros can relate, but I wasn't taking it. And a lot of the nurses, healthcare pros, and caregivers out there, we tell everyone else this, but we don't take our own advice. I was in full-blown heart failure, running an ER, and I was taking care of everyone from massive heart attacks, hemorrhages, dog moles, to little cuts and scrapes. And I'm like, wait, I'm in heart failure. Who the hell's taking care of me? I am the provider that's responsible to take care of everyone. So if I don't take care of me, holy shit, no one's going to do it. Okay. And that was the sad reality. That was my wake up call. I was in heart failure. The admin at the end of the day, she would come around. She would say, Matt, how are you? Do we need a break? She would say, how many did you see today? It was all about the numbers. It's always about the numbers. It's not about you. If you work for a healthcare carrier, insurance, a hospital, 99% of the time, it's about the numbers and not you. That was a wake up call. The non-nurses out there, check this out. I was working 16 hours a day. You got to come in early, stay late. That's 17 hours. An hour to commute each way is 19 hours of my day. Eat and shower was another hour, up to 20 hours. Do errands for an hour is 21 hours. That left me 3 hours to sleep before I went back for another overnight shift. So please give some grace to your nurses. You know what? You guys that work 9 to 5, you guys are off holidays, federal holidays. You're off your birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's. In the healthcare industry, we're told to pick one holiday for the next coming year, and which one do we want off? So imagine that. You're asked, would you like off your birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's? Which? Pick one, right? And often I asked 7 months in advance for a day off, and I was told no, even though I had all the days and holidays coming to me because there was no coverage. So, my fellow nurses, I can relate to you. When I started off nursing, right, we were really taking time and treating the patients. Then it became a numbers game. There was no time to eat. God forbid I took my first bite at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right? I'm sure you fellow nurses can relate. You can't check your phone. You can't keep food at the nurses station, a drink even. I was told in my 40s, early 50s, right? I was 5 patients ahead of schedule. And I said to the charge nurse, hey, listen, I'm just going to go to the restroom. I'll be right back to let them know where I am. She told me no. What? We're told no, not to use the restroom. Come on, guys. So I want you to know, and when we started nursing, we were in patient charts, paper charts. We didn't have computers and learning ICD-10 codes and coding and all this stuff. Then I had to take a look in the mirror and realize, what the hell am I doing? Right? I looked in the mirror, said, I'm thinking we should all look in the mirror and say, you are worthy. You are deserving just as much as your patients and the people you care of to treat yourself. It is not selfish. It is selfless, because if you don't take care of yourself and you get sick, you can't take care of the kid, the spouse, and the parent. You are in that sandwich generation responsible to take care of all of them. So imagine if you take 1 hour to get yourself better and feeling better. It is not selfish. It is selfless. Otherwise, you're going to be sick and out several hours and not be able to take care of them. Now, so you are worthy. You are deserving to treat yourself as good as your bestie. All right, moving right along. Put on your own oxygen mask first. If that plane is going down and you don't put on your oxygen mask on first, you pass out and die. You can't help the child, the spouse, and the parent. It is not selfish. It is selfless. You are worthy. You are deserving. And you might hear me repeat this. And people have said, I have heard you say it before, but it hadn't clicked with me until now. So that's why I'm repeating it. All right, moving right along. You have to believe you are worthy. You are deserving. It is possible. I do that in the sunset of Long Island. We have to learn to retrain our brains and master our mindset. Now, if you look at this next photo here, you know what? When I was in heart failure, I couldn't imagine being out at the beach swimming all day or horseback riding again. But I had to believe it was possible, and then take the action steps and never, ever, ever quit. All right, moving right along. I learned in our busy lifestyles that you're worthy and deserving to take at least 4 minutes a day. So it is important in our busy lifestyles. There's like 1,440 minutes in a day. You are worthy, you are deserving, no matter how busy you are, to take at least 4 minutes a day, pick a song, and just dance. And it de stresses you, it thickens your bones, it burns a couple calories, it increases your confidence. So you are worthy, you are deserving to take out of 1,440 minutes a day, four of them. These habits could be good habits and could be tiny, but yet they cumulatively add up, woo, to massive results. 4 minute happy dance a day will equal 24 extra hours at the end of the year. So I encourage you, pick a happy song and just dance. And if you can't get up, then just clap your hands, shake your head, whatever you're capable of. And I've had people in my 90-day program start doing that. They couldn't do more than 30 seconds at a time, but over time, they worked up to a minute, to the full 4 minutes. And then they started doing the rebounder a half hour at a time. And then they started swimming. So it's simple swap outs in our busy lifestyle, in our upcoming live Reclaim Your Life Super Workshop, and our 90-day Your Wellness Journey program. I go through in your busy lifestyle how you can do simple swap outs, this for that. Instead of 1 hour of TV a day, that's 365 hours of waste. What happens if you swap it out for a 4 minute happy dance, right? Then what that does is that saved you almost 365 hours in the year and gave you 24 extra hours of activity. Now, check this out. This past week, actually on Monday, I gave myself 1 hour of Zumba and 1 hour of yoga. So I gave myself 2 hours in the same 24 hours. I am worthy. I am deserving. And you know what? This was the first time I did Zumba. I like doing physical activities that are fun. It doesn't have to be at the gym all the time. It could be hiking, biking, kicking a ball around, swimming, whatever brings you joy. I love dancing. It burns calories. It's fun. And it kills multiple stones at the same time, right? I'm out listening to the music with friends, I'm dancing. So I tried Zumba for the very first time. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. So I did an hour Zumba on Monday. I took a 10-minute break and then I did over an hour of yoga. And I did both of these for the first time ever. So please get out of your comfort zone. You might actually enjoy it. You know, these are important because Zumba can increase your stamina, thicken your bones, keep away osteoporosis. But yoga is important to clear your mind, calm it down from the overwhelm. But also, when we get older, we often pull and stretch and strain and tear ligaments and tendons. But if you do yoga and you stretch them out more, you're less likely to tear and sprain and strain. So it's also preventative because maybe an hour of yoga once a week to keep you limber will prevent you getting a tear where you need surgery and weeks off. Okay, here's those warning signs again, right? You see that dashboard in your car and that little warning sign goes on, right? That's warning you early while it's a little problem before you even notice it. That if you address the little problem, it's going to save you tons of time and money, right? Like if your oil light goes on and you spend a few dollars, you put a quart of oil in, that's going to save you time and money. If you ignore that warning sign, you're going to need to spend thousands of dollars on a huge engine, which is costing you more time, more money in the long run. So our bodies have these warning signs like those in your car. If you don't ignore them in your car, don't ignore them in your body because we can't get replacement parts that easy. And here are some of the warning signs you should not ever ignore. They are telling you early on that there is a problem, even before the basic blood work that your doctor orders. And these signs could be weird rashes, they could be exhaustion. Even when you wake up, you want a nap, you want a third cup of coffee, another energy drink. Pain more so than you should be having at your age. Irritable bowel, where maybe you're having to run to the restroom, you're canceling plans. As soon as you get out in a public place, you're like, where's the restroom? Or even worse yet, these symptoms might be preventing you from even wanting to make plans because they might be unpredictable. You might have an inability to lose weight, even though you're trying to eat healthy and trying to be a little active. I want you to join. If you're having some of these signs and symptoms, you need to address these root causes before they get worse and you end up in the hospital or with a surgery or on ton of meds that have side effects. You're going to just go to right now to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim and claim your seat for this coming Wednesday at 7 p.m. EST. You can do it from the comfort of your couch at no cost. Okay, now I also want to move right along. I want to show you that I only realized recently that I too am worthy and deserving. Like I said, I was in heart failure treating the world. I decided to go outside of my insurance for testing that we need. I want you guys to know if you go to the doctor and you've been to all the specialists, I'd say 99% of the people come to me have been to all the doctors, been to all the specialists, had all the tests, and told you're getting older. You're doing too much. Your tests are normal. I want to let you know that they are not. 99% of the people that come to me, I either find testing that they never had, even though they went through all the testing that they should have had, or doctors that told them their tests were normal when they really weren't. Here is me this past week. I had all those tubes of blood taken just for myself. I decided to go outside of my insurance because it's cheaper, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, for instance, there was this one test that was ordered for a patient recently. It was they billed the insurance $152. The insurance denied it. It cost the patient $152. If this patient went outside of network and paid cash for that test, it would have been $11. So I chose to go outside of network. I can order blood work on you in any state. Okay, but you have to have a consult with me first. So I ordered my own blood work because why? The doctor is often in insurance. They don't want to do testing for a few reasons, and I'm going to tell you why. One is the more tests they do, honestly, it affects their bonuses at the end of the year. The more tests they do, eat out more of their money. That means less of the money for them for bonus. It's a trade off. So the more testing they do might equal less bonuses. Two is they have to enter codes for each and every test, a reason for you to get that test. Three is they might have to battle your insurance, get on the with your insurance carrier on the phone to try to authorize the test. Four is it might get rejected and you might be stuck with a bill and complain to the doctor. And number five, which is why a lot of doctors have told me this lately, is the real reason they don't want to order the test. I've asked multiple doctors recently, and they say, to be honest with you, when the test comes in, I don't know what to do with it. So there are tests you need, but your doctors often are not ordering it because it's affecting their commissions. They don't want to spend time to pre-auth it, or they simply don't know what to do with the answer. So then I ordered my own test. If you're not licensed to do so, you can't order it, but I can order it for you. And I went outside of insurance because it's a lot cheaper. I ordered over $1,000 of testing that the doctors would not order, everything from vitamins to autoimmune to inflammatory markers to deeper dive thyroid tests that the doctors refuse to order, hormone levels, because I know I would rather discover the problems now before I end up passed out and in the hospital. So it's important to not ignore these warning signs. So if you want tests, just drop down below tests, and I will connect with you, do a consult with you online, and order the testing that you need and go over the results in depth. Now, also, if you want supplements, I work with the best companies nationally, internationally. People ask me, like, which company are you with? I am not with one company. And I want you to give you a disclosure. With the testing that I do not make a dime off the test. I do not, like a lot of other people, jack up the price of the test and then say you need this test. I do not make a dime off the lab test that I'm ordering for you, okay? So if you want supplements or snacks around the world, literally just reach out to me, drop down below supplements or snacks. I will pass on the savings that I have. I get these, I work with several different brands and companies literally around the US and the world to get you the best quality supplements and snacks that delivered direct to your door. This way, it cuts out the middleman. When you go online, if you don't go direct to the company, there are knockoffs that look identical. And not only may they not work, they may have ingredients in it that are harmful to you. So please reach out to me. I want you to treat yourself as well as you treat your bestie. And this is going to be your homework. You are worthy, you are deserving to treat yourself as good, if not better than your bestie. So I want you to think of how much time and how much money you would spend on your child, your spouse, your parent, or your bestie friend, and I want you, check out this next one. This is your call to action. I want you to spend one more, that amount of time and money on yourself. You are worth to treat your so you hire the expert, right? It's going to save you tons of time, tons of money. They've done this thousands of times. I want to be the expert for you to save you tons of time, tons of money. I've already trialed and errored thousands of times. I know it works to expedite your journey. Right? And we know that that is good for what the you have a headache, you run for a pain pill. Fix it. For now, it's not solving the problem. The under bigger